Chris here with Learn MoGraph, and today we're going to be going over my top 5 favorite After Effects keyboard shortcuts. I've been using After Effects professionally for about 10 years now, and these are the keyboard shortcuts that I use all the time. For the sake of this video, I'm going to skip some of the more commonly used shortcuts, like the ones that reveal properties in your timeline or activate tools in your tool panel. Instead, we're going to focus on the ones that really enhanced my workflow when I started using them. Have you ever found yourself working in a composition that is dozens or hundreds of layers deep, and you find yourself scrolling up and down your timeline panel just trying to find the right layer to work with? Well, with this keyboard shortcut, all you have to do is select the layer that you want to work with in your composition window and tap X on your keyboard, and that jumps that layer to the very top of your timeline panel. From there, you can make any adjustments that you want. We'll change the scale and opacity a little bit, and you are good to go. This next keyboard shortcut is super handy if you're working on a scene with a lot of fine detail, or if you're working on a laptop and you're on the go and your screen is kind of small and it's difficult to see. All you have to do is, let's say we want to work in our composition window and we want to see this a bit larger so we can see some of the finer details on this house here. All you do is hover over the window that you want to expand and you tap the tilde key, which is at the top left of your keyboard, right next to the number 1 on most keyboards in the US. And that expands your composition panel to full size. This trick not only works in your composition window, but any other panel within After Effects that you may want to work with. So if you want to see more metadata from your project panel, you just hover your mouse over the project panel and tap the tilde key. And now you can see the file path and any other columns you may have metadata listed for. This also is great for working in the graph editors down in your timeline panel. So you can select a keyframe, click this button to toggle to your graph editor, and right now it's not too bad. It's kind of small, difficult to see, too much detail there. But if you tap the tilde key, you get a much better view of what you're working with, so you can get these Bezier handles looking just right. This next tip is super handy if you find yourself zooming in and out of your composition window a lot, just trying to see detail and kind of see what the whole scene looks like. If you hit Shift / on your keyboard, that fits it 100% to whatever size your composition panel is. Have you ever been working on a project that has dozens or hundreds of different footage layers and you're in the final stages and you have to go in and replace watermarked media with the high-res assets? This next keyboard shortcut makes that super easy to do. All you have to do is select the layer that you want to swap with your high-res licensed asset and select the corresponding high-res asset in your project panel and press Command-Option / or Control-Alt / on PC, and that swaps your footage source from what's in the project panel to what's in the timeline. This trick not only works with footage, but any other layer that can be attributed to a source, such as Illustrator layers, images, pre-comps, and solid layers. It does not work with shape or text layers, as those don't have corresponding sources that live up here in the project panel. This keyboard shortcut alone changed the way that I work when I discovered it a couple years ago. So let's say you have your main composition and you're looking to make a change to, let's say, the text right here. And you dive into this comp and you dive into this comp, and let's say we want to change this to a more bold weight. Now, we have a pretty messy timeline panel here with all these different tabs open, and this keyboard shortcut makes it easy to navigate all the way back to our main composition. So we just hit Tab, and that opens up a flowchart where you can follow this blue line, and as you click on each one, it navigates you all the way back to the main composition, and you can follow this line all the way back to where you are. So in a couple clicks, you get exactly where you need to go. If you've been keeping track, that last one marked our 5th keyboard shortcut, but I couldn't let this video go without the keyboard shortcut that quite literally changed my life and the way that I work with shape layers. When you're working with complex vector artwork and editing shape layers directly inside After Effects, sometimes these layers can have dozens or hundreds of different groups, and finding the one that you want to adjust can be tedious. So if we take this example here, this is the house from our first scene, and let's say we want to edit one of these windows? Well, we could go into our contents panel and, okay, well, this is sort of organized, but there's all these different groups in here and I'm not sure how to find the right one. So let's zoom in a little bit on this window and we'll select our shape layer here. Let's pick this window right here. So we switch to our pen tool with G and we select one of the vertices of this path. And if we tap SS on the keyboard, that brings us directly to the group and path where we can make any changes that we need to. So we can change this fill color from black to, let's make that blue. And this makes it super easy to go through and quickly change the color of all of these different windows without having to track down which group and which path. As you can see, this would take forever just trying to find the right path in the right group. I hope you found some of these keyboard shortcuts useful. For a full list of shortcuts and a downloadable cheat sheet that contains all of the default keyboard shortcuts built into After Effects for both Mac and PC, check the link in the description. And if you've learned something, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.